Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Maximum. Yes, I'm uploading in the second channel. I will do very soon a video on where I've been and what I'm gonna do very soon. But that's besides the point. I'm gonna do this video very quickly, and that is a review for Argylle. Argylle released, as I'm speaking, yesterday on February 2nd, and I saw it on February 2nd. So therefore, I was able to see it on premiere day, and I was able to see it with a lot of people. I went to a school reunion. The school reunion turned to going to the theater. I was able to see it with my buddies. So therefore, we went to the theater and saw Argylle all together. And I think most of us had the same opinion, but it seems like many others don't. And by the end, I was able to tell that this is gonna be a very polarized movie, and it's completely understandable if people don't like this movie. Because it's definitely, I mean, at least I really liked it because I had fun with it, but it's definitely a movie that is definitely not for everyone. It's a very split, half and half thoughts kind of movie where one person's gonna probably enjoy it a lot and is gonna have a lot of fun and, probably really like it, but the other person will not understand anything by the end and will be kind of confused what even the purpose of the movie was. So, I'm not gonna go into spoilers, but I will say that it's like Kingsman: The Golden Circle, but if everything was multiplied by like 20, and you get a ginormous result. And I mean this in a good way and a bad way, because in one hand there's a lot of plot twists, and I know everybody's gonna be really talking about how either a lot of them like them or a lot of them really hated them because there's too many. And I'll admit that there is way too many plot twists in this movie, but it almost feels fun. Like it almost feels like a gimmick that happens throughout the movie. That by the end, I just kind of like it. But I will say that it's definitely not for everyone. It's gonna be a very polarized movie in general. So let me talk about its technical stuff and the rest. Okay, performances are really great for me. Personally, I think my least favorite. It's a little tough, but I might as well just have to go with Dua Lipa. It's mostly because she doesn't even pop up in this movie like at all. She pops up at the beginning and never pops up ever again. So all the times you see her in the trailer is basically her in the very beginning. You don't see anything. And if you're seeing her on the background of the video, because the background's gonna be the trailer, yeah, that's all you're gonna see. There's nothing else. So Dua Lipa doesn't pop up barely at all. Even though she doesn't look like bad, she just doesn't pop up. She's not memorable. And there's a lot of characters that I feel like were too promoted, but Matthew Vaughn is actually familiar with doing this. For example, with Henry Cavill being supposedly the main character, being here as Argylle. But the thing here is that Henry Cavill only pops up like 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops, but like he doesn't pop up that much either. Like he's just kind of to settle the main plot up, but like not really in a big part of the movie. Because like the only two main characters are actually Ellie Conway and Aiden, but like which is Sam Rockwell and Bryce Dallas Howard. But besides them, like there's not really that many appearances of Argylle. It's just at the beginning, a little bit in the middle, and a little bit at the end. But it's just kind of to get the audience, I guess. Which Matthew Vaughn has done this with Kingsman, especially Kingsman: The Golden Circle, where Colin Firth is in that movie, right? But he's listed as the first one, where, in my opinion, I feel like he's not even like the biggest character. It should be like Taron Egerton or like the villain, but like he's very much on top of everyone else. And I feel like it's something similar here, where it's kind of where Henry Cavill's kind of on top, but really Sam Rockwell and Bryce Dallas Howard should be on front. Which by the end of the credits of the actual movie, Henry Cavill's like the fourth one or like the fifth one. So I guess that's more understandable, but it's weird why they have to promote it that much when he's not even that much in the movie. Sam Rockwell was amazing. I think he's my favorite character in the movie, and I think he did such a good job in this that honestly I did feel like Sam Rockwell should just be the main character the whole time, but I do feel like he's definitely the best part of this movie. Bryce Dallas Howard is pretty good too. I will say there were the moments where I feel like I couldn't really get over some moments with her, but I do feel like she did a good job. It's just that there's so many plot twists that characters can randomly change. It's weird. You see the movie? This is spoiler free, obviously. It's really confusing, but yeah, it's kind of how it is. Bryan Cranston is the main villain, which is Ritter, and I think he's pretty good. But I do feel like for some reason I could have seen him more. I feel like especially since like the trailers promote something else that I would have liked to see, and this completely changes. I feel like it was kind of weird because it didn't feel like there was even a main villain. There was so many, but at the same time, it didn't feel like, I don't know how to describe it. It's so confusing at the same time, but yeah, it's a little jumbled, I guess you could say. Everyone says it's jumbled. For me, it's not the most jumbled thing ever that I've seen, but it's definitely really hard to explain on just like 10 minutes. So, yeah, very confusing. And Catherine O'Hara, I know I'm mentioning her and she might not seem like she's gonna do a lot, but she is actually in this movie a lot. And I'm not gonna explain, but she is in this movie a lot. And I do think she does a pretty good job too, especially since she hasn't gotten a big role in a while. Obviously, most people know her for the mom of Home Alone, but for the most part, she's never had that big of a role. She was in Elemental, but her role was kind of small in a way, so I don't think that kind of made her pop up too much. And then you also have, well, John Cena and Samuel L. Jackson and Ariana DeBose. I'm gonna talk more about Samuel L. Jackson because he does pop up more, and I think he does a pretty good job. He's fun, although I do think he pops up way more at the middle and end. He doesn't pop up at all at the beginning. Ariana DeBose is weird because she only pops up at the very beginning and at the very end. And yeah, it's kind of like how that works. Like, it's in the story, obviously, I'm not gonna spoil it, but yeah, and she doesn't pop up at all. At least for me. I feel like she popped up at the same level of Dua Lipa, but less. And for John Cena, he's a little, it's like literally the John Cena joke where he's invisible, which I did a lot with my friends when I saw the movie in the theater. Yeah, he's kind of invisible in this movie, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's his moments, but he is basically just the supporting character to be, the partner and to help Argylle. But in reality, he's not really that big of a character either. He's just there, for the paycheck, I guess. And now the visual effects are very polarized because a lot of people say they look really bad. And I will admit, they are kind of bad, but sometimes Matthew Vaughn does it where the visual effects look so bad that by the end, since the movie, what it's trying to go for, it's kind of fitting, if you could call that. Kingsman has done that. I've seen The Golden Circle, and it kind of is like that. The Secret Service has some good visual effects, though, I will say. But The Golden Circle sometimes has pretty weird visual effects that by the end, because of the movie, it goes just fine with it. So sometimes, yes, there is some questionable green screen effects, but for the most part, I'm fine with the visual effects. And plus, this was gonna go, I think, on streaming, so I guess I can forgive it. But I cannot forgive its $200 million budget. That is insane to me, that it's $200 million. But then you also have the other stuff, the cinematography, the sound, the views, I guess, like, that stuff is fine. I think it all went just fine in that spectrum. It wasn't like the biggest thing ever in that kind of spectrum. Like, the sound was good, but that's all I can say. The cinematography was good, but that's all I can say. It's kind of like that. In some of the other aspects, it's just nice and fine. I don't think I have too much to say about those. But I will say my biggest issue with this movie is you sometimes you feel like there's stuff that's missing, or there's stuff that you feel like they just completely forgot it was Argylle related. And I don't know, like, it has to do with the plot twist on the movie. There's a lot of plot twists in this movie, and I do feel like a lot of it might also have to do with it, because there's times where I don't feel like I'm watching Argylle. I feel like I'm just watching something completely different. And like the main story that you get from the trailer, I feel like is the least you should know about, because that's literally only for like 20 to 30 minutes of the movie until it focuses on something pretty different. And yeah, the story really drastically changes. And I feel like that sometimes is a problem because I can't even tell what I'm watching sometimes. Like, am I watching Argylle or am I watching 3 Matthew Vaughn movies? Like, you can't really tell by the end. It feels like they all put it too much. That by the end, you're like, how are they gonna make a sequel to this? Like, really? They wanna do like, a trilogy, but like, I think they did almost everything they could. Why would they wanna do another one? So like, I don't understand how they're even gonna try to do that. But it seems like they're gonna see what they do. But I feel like they've done too much in this movie that I just feel like they don't need to do another one. I think they did everything they could, and I think they did a pretty good job, but it's too rushed at the same time. The runtime is something that's a little bit bugged out by some, and I actually don't think I mind too much. Well, yes, it's extremely long, 2 hours and 20 minutes. I don't think it's that bad. It's only whenever the story gets so jumbled that it does feel like you don't know when it's gonna end. So I do have to say this movie could have been literally the whole trilogy separated on each other, and I feel like they could have done a better job with that to handle budget, to do better visual effects, as well as to handle everything pretty well. But I do feel like they jumbled too much into one movie, and they could have definitely handled that a little bit better. But that is my review. In total, I'm gonna give this a solid 8 out of 10, just an 8, 8 closed. And for ranking, I'm gonna give it A plus S out of F. I'm gonna give it an A plus to A minus. Either it's the bottom of A plus or the top of A minus. That's where the movie's at. I really wanted this to be a 9 to 9.5 or an 8, like a S tier. But unfortunately, it doesn't land that spot. It might seem generous with these numbers and the grades, but realistically, these are just my thoughts on the movie. That's all I think about Argylle. So that's kind of about it. If you enjoyed my review, you could like and subscribe. I've been gone for a while. I'll talk about it in my main channel, but yeah, that's about it. You can also hit the notification bell when you do subscribe, so you can go ahead and know when every video comes out, from my main channel to this channel right here. And you can also go ahead and check my social medias, which will be in the link on the description. Anyways, that's about it. I am Maximum. Don't have a good day, have a great day, and see ya.